Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. There's way too much news going on right now. Let's sip the water. Let's make it a relaxing day and everybody will be okay, alright? Well, anyways, we switched to tea because water almost killed us. What's going on with the Hydration Nation? We almost got packed up in like seconds. A little ASMR action, hold on. Oh my god, it's freaking hot as fuck. Oh my god. End the VOD. End the VOD. Listen. We're gonna talk about WoW news, okay? What the fuck is going on today, bro? I can't drink. I can't sip. I'm about to suck some... Yo, pause. Pause. Yo, lock it the fuck in, guys. Please, shut up. Alright, yo, we're talking about WoW news. Anywho, there's a lot of fucking news going on. Now, guys, I don't know whether to do this in one video. Should I just one take it and give you all the things that are going on? Because I got multiple tabs up right now, as you can see. Or I could split this and talk about the Paladin stuff in, like, another video. Because I feel like there's just too much going on. I think I want to talk about, like, all, like, the leaks that are going on right now. And I do want to say, spoilers ahead. If you don't want to watch this video, this is a spoiler video. This is going to show stuff that is happening in Phase 2. Like, confirmed, data mine, this is actually going down. Even Josh Green, like, has talked about this on, you know, what's going on, you know, with Season Discovery Phase 2 and the PTR. Like, everything is legit. So if you don't want to watch this video, please leave. I understand. I don't want to ruin your experience for Phase 2. But I'm going to show you today, in this video, PvP items. We're going to go over gear set items. And we're going to go over raid set items. We can even dip into profession items if you want to as well. I think I'm going to save the quality of life skill books and the Paladin stuff for another video, because there's stuff I still want to talk about on the Paladin. We always got stuff to talk about on the Paladin, right? Best class in the game, nothing's better. However, I think we should just stick to what I'm going with first, and then let's proceed, okay? So, we're gonna, you know, here's proof in the pudding, just so everyone knows, from Josh, you know, from the man himself. My sincere advice, okay? If you don't want to be spoiled, do your best to avoid spoilers. Many sites like Wowhead are putting spoiler warnings on this, which we appreciate. Thank you. So I encourage you to heed those warnings if you care to. We look forward to seeing you Phase 2. Now, we're gonna go in. I gave you a warning already. Spoiler alert. It's coming in right now. It's coming hot. We're gonna talk about cloth leather mail plate. So we got some set bonuses. This might be a long video too. We got some set bonuses going on with cloth. We got it's the irradiated set, I guess so to say. You know, I always be stuttering. But this comes in at a whopping -5 strength, -10 stamina, +9 int, +10 spirit, +10 nature resistance. Nature resistance, arcane resistance is going to be a big thing, especially in you know, it would help with PvP as well, but also in the raid. The Gnomeregan is going to have a lot of those status elements that are going to be causing a lot of damage, right? So, you're going to be able to get increase critical strike with melee and range attacks by 1%, and increase of damage and healing done by magical spells and effects up to 23. So this is a pretty good, simple set. Nothing too crazy about this. A nice little 3-piece. Can't go wrong with that around the level 40 to 45 area, right? So that sounds pretty juicy for the item level, right? Now we got the hyperconductive. Whoa, who's that? We got the hyperconductive set. It's cloth. It's going to do 10 spirit, 6 stam, up to 29 on the healing done by spells and effects, and restore 6 mana per sec. This is a nice little 3-piece cloth set. We got the wizard attire, which increases hit chance by 1% and increases armor by 100, and improves your chance to hit with spells and melee range 1% of attacks, right? So this is a nice little cloth set. Another nice little, you know, bonus that we're getting for our cloth users. More love to our cloth users. 6 stam, 10 spirit. I love this stuff. And a chance to increase your damage. The 3 set, if you have all combos, right here, as you can see, chance on spellcast to increase your damage and healing up to 40 for 10 seconds. So that's kind of nutty. Like, there is a lot of stuff going on with these set bonuses. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing. And even with these set bonuses, like, what, I mean, over here as well, like, you know, increasing your damage and spells up to effects by 11, stuff like that. These are knife claw. Oh my gosh, I'm choking again. Sip the tea. Hold on, Tello. Hold on. A little tea, dude. It's helping me sleep better, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. Do you guys drink tea? Let me know. Yeah, that cloth set for all those, like, early, 40 to 45, maybe some of these are bis, who knows. That's pretty dope. I mean, it says item level 45 obviously because you can wear it at 40, right? Regardless of that. And let's go into leather. So, the insulated chest piece, we got the leg piece and the boots. It's the insulated set piece set. Improve your chance to get a critical strike with melee and range attacks with spells by 1%. We also have increased daggers +5, and also +20 attack power in cat, bear, dire bear forms only. So this is actually a really good druid set right here. This is a really solid druid set. I'm sure druids will be going after this. A lot of feral druids in general, just druids all around. This is really nice. We got insulated sorcerer leathers, and this was going to basically do increased damage and healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 19, and the 1% increased basically hit rating with spells, melee, and ranged attacks by 1%. If you have the set bonus, you get up to 16, and if you get the third set bonus, you get the 2% critical hit chance. This is really nice, really juicy set for our leather wearers. Male users. Now, it's going to be very interesting. I do want to make this a note. There's going to be a lot of combinations, especially if you play on the melee class and, like, warriors and paladins. Warriors and paladins, and even some hunters. I believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, hunters, you get access to mail this phase. I think so. However, there's gonna be a lot of interesting pieces where you're going around from mail to leather, the plate, and figuring out what's best, what works out for you. I'm sure Wowhead will cover a lot of this stuff, so you guys don't need to stress out, or Icy Veins, wherever you go, Wowcraft Tavern, other good websites. But it's gonna be very interesting. I hear you go stuttering again. Somebody fucking smack me before I smack myself. Interesting to see what you can change, what you could wear in phase 2. Oh my gosh, Telos, speak properly. However, the electromantic grounding sabatons, but this is the electromantic set. Hold on, my pops is calling me. Interrupting already. Oh, unbelievable. However, 24 attack power, and you also get your attacks have a 5% chance of restoring 100 mana. One second, I'm just gonna text him real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so yes, this is gonna be a really interesting set too because getting more attack, having more mana restored to you. This can be used as a hybrid set depending on what class you play. I like this. It's pretty dope. We got the Stormbringer's Chain. Increased damage and healing done by magical spells and effects up to 12, and 0.2 seconds on casting time of your lightning bolt spells. So I think this is like more towards the shamans, right? If I'm correct, this is towards like a shaman set. I think this is pretty dope. This is cool on the horde side. The hazard suit. This is the one that I'm aiming more for personally. I like the way this is looking, and I have a big discussion to talk about on the Paladin video about the second set we're going to see here because I dabbled and looked at it a little bit earlier, just trying to read up on the the stuff. But this set basically gives you a whopping 11 strength, 11 agility, 16 stamina. You're going to get 7 defense, 16 attack power, and 1% increased hit rating, which is really juicy. And on top of that, we have the Shock Forge Warplate. I personally will be going for the Hazard, but I could see myself potentially going for an off build and testing the Shockadin because it looks like this is actually happening. This is going down. They are building towards Shockadin style paladins, and it's going to be really exciting seeing some crazy damage with some ranged holy spells bursting for big damage, and I'm really excited for the burst damage of Shockadin. So basically, you're gonna be rocking plate, 12 intellect, 8 stam, increase damage and healing done by magical spells up to 12, and increase hit chance of holy shock by 2%. They are going down the Shockadin route, and I like this. This gets me excited. I'm not gonna lie, because as a ret paladin, I love swinging the two-hander. It's awesome. It's one of the coolest things to do for me in the game. It's just a dopamine effect. However, I dig range. I like doing range stuff. I played, like I said, I played Warlock for a while, and I enjoyed playing range. I have an alt mage. I enjoy playing range with that. And Paladin range sounds pretty fucking dope, if I must say. So, this sounds pretty cool. That's basically it on the items that are coming to Phase 2. If you have some questions in the comments below, we'll talk about that. Let's now move on to the next part of the video. We'll have the timestamp so you guys can figure it out, okay? Now, the PvP. Spoiler alert. Leave if you don't want to see it, okay? So, we already know that's every a 30-minute, every 3-hour Blood Moon event. And during this event, killing players will allow you to earn currency, which can be traded for various rewards. We know this. Still group up with your allies for the event. Blood Moon is a harsh mistress and will punish those in raid groups. Very interesting. Okay. Let's look at this. Some new rewards include powerful class items tailored for each specialization. Besides a specific exception for hunters, you can wear one Blood Moon item at a time. But as it's currently unknown how to obtain these powerful items, it's also unknown if you can purchase more than one. Click the items below. Spoiler warning. All right, let's go into it. We're going to be reviewing each one for each class. Don't worry, I'm showing the love for all the classes. So, Druids have a choice of a nature/arcane spell power offhand, a feral attack power two-handed mace, or a healing trinket. This is it right here. And we don't know how to get these Blood Moons, so it's going to be very interesting to see what to do. Increased damage done by arcane spells and effects up to 16. Increased damage done by nature spells up to 16. That's in the offhand. We got a nice, juicy looking two-hand, which is plus 80 attack power in cat, bear, or dire bear forms, and then has a use. Adds 5 storm strike damage to your melee attacks, damaging the target and its nearby allies, affecting up to 3 targets, causing additional threat, lasts 20 seconds. 17 strength, 11 agi, 6 stamina. This is a juicy two-hand mace. This is a really juicy two-hand mace. The Bloodbark Crusher. I can see Druids tanking more in Phase 2. Because I think that's one thing that's not really talked about too much, right? Is the Druid tanks, right? And, a lot of people are talking about, like, the Rogue tanks right now and the Warlock tanks. Paladin and Warrior tanking is obviously in its great form. But I could see some crazy stuff going on with Druid tanks, especially if you're gaining more threat with this type of weapon. Who knows? But my Druids, let me know in the comments below what you think. Blood Blinded, Grove Talisman. Trinket on use effect. Instantly heal target for 300, but sacrifice 300 of your own health in return after 2 seconds. Very interesting. This is nice because this is another trinket that possibly even in PvE or PvP that you can use for just an immediate heal if it's a desperate heal because you can't get something off of cooldown or something of that nature, or you don't have the time because of how long that ability takes to cast. I like this. This is really dope. Now, hunters. We get the Bloodlash Bow. Bow with a strength proc. Chance on hit to increase strength by 50 for 15 seconds. And now that sounds pretty dope, especially if you're going down the flanking strike. We talked about this with hunters, about, the melee fantasy of basically wielding the two-handed weapons and having more strength with a bow. Kind of is going more down that route, and I like the idea. It sounds good on paper, and it's very interesting to see if they continue improving upon that type of spec within Phase 2. Tiger Blood Talisman. Increase your pet's critical strike chance by 1%. Increase your pet's critical hits cause you to become energized, granting you 5 mana. Is it 5 mana per second, or is it just 5 mana? That I don't know, but interesting. You get a quiver, 16-slot quiver, which increases your attack speed by 14%, or a ammo pouch, range by 14. Just speed, more range speed by 14%, which is really nice. So basically, just more attack speed. That's pretty dope for either or. Let's look at the mage. Blood Renaissance Circle. It's an arcane spell power ring, up to 16. Okay, so basically just I'm seeing here up to 16 on all, right? Same thing, 9/6 stamina intellect, and it's just up to 16 on the specific one that you want to go with. I honestly think fire mages are gonna reign supreme. It's gonna be either fire mages or arcane still in Phase 2. But who knows how much more Frost can, vamp up and get kicked up with more, item pieces, more abilities. If Frost might make a big return. I think they're going to make a big return in terms of AoE damage, especially in dungeons. I think mages are going to be extremely good in dungeons, but will they be as good as their other two counterparts of Arcane and Fire compared to Frost? That's yet to be determined. Paladin. Now, I'm very excited about this. I didn't know what to expect of what they were going to give us in terms of weapons for the PvP event. Because I really think, if you do PvP, right, and you have to understand something, and let's full cam this. If you're doing PvP, a lot of people do PvP is because they can't always make raid, and they want to do PvP so they can keep up and perform with people in raid when they do make it a raid. And that's why, like, a lot of PvP pieces in, like, Classic era, especially towards the end of the game, were viable in raid. You can come into raids with PvP pieces, especially, like, full, like, PvP, like, sets, and you were just doing really good with them. and obviously having a couple PvE pieces here and there to, you know, balance with the PvP sets that you had, but people were doing suffice damage and doing pretty good in raids towards the end of Classic era with PvP gear. So I think it's really cool that we have the ability to get dope PvP gear that is viable in open world, questing, dungeoning, or just, you know, raids in general. Let me know what you guys think about that. However, let's talk about it. So the sword. We get a 4 stam, 4 intellect, which increases damage by holy spells and effects up to 14. I love that they're going down the route of increasing damage by holy spells, especially with the stuff that we're going to talk about in the next video about the Shakadins and how they are going down the route of more caster-based paladin damage, and also still giving some love for the Rets. I mean, it seems very... I think they're going a little bit more to the caster side style of the paladin, with spell power, which is very interesting, and still giving some love to the ret with some minor increases, but we'll talk about it in the next VOD. So this is nice. We're getting up to 14 holy spell power. This is what I'm going to definitely be going for. 15 strength, 14 stamina, up to 24 damage done by holy spells and effects with, you know, the holy spell power, right? Then we have the Bloodlight Crusader Radiance. Unleash a delayed explosion of blood and light, causing 150 twilight damage to all targets within 10 yards. This is already kind of nuts that you're giving more AoE damage to a paladin. Paladins already have a lot. We have a lot of AoE damage. Like, I mean, come on. Divine Storm. You can throw your Avenger Shield. You can throw down Concentration Aura if you're, you know, on the ground. Not the aura, but you know what I mean. You can throw down Consecration if you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And instead of maybe, if you know, this is probably good if you're not going down the deep holy tree and you're going deep prot, and then you have this trinket. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think this is insane, giving more AoEs to paladins. But I'm happy. Hey, I'm not gonna hate it. Give us everything. I love it. Bloodlight Offering. Trinket with on-use effect that heals someone by sacrificing your own health. So this is pretty similar to what we were talking about earlier with the druids, having the ability to, you know, sacrifice your health a little bit to give it to something else. It's more of the healing caster trinket. I like this. This is pretty dope. Priests. Blood Covenant Seal. Increase healing done by spells and effects up to 13. 8 stamina, 7 intellect, 7 spirit. Shadow Spell Power Ring. I love that they're giving more shadow spell stuff to Shadow Priest. As I mentioned in a lot of my previous videos, if you've heard or watched my videos, I was really intrigued about making a Shadow Priest just for fun. And now that you get the 50% XP bonus if you haven't played Season of Discovery from like level 1 to whatever, you're going to be ranking up hella fast. This is really cool. So, Sanguine Sanctuary. Instantly shield target for ally for 300, but sacrifice 300 of your own health. This is really dope. I think I like the fact that they're giving a lot of the healers and melee classes and range classes very dope trinkets, very dope items. This is cool stuff. We got for the rogues, our big damage, our pumpers. 9 agility, 8 stamina. We got a really nice dagger, 1.9 speed. We got a 2 speed offhand dagger for 6 stam. And then we have, I believe, an offhand, a fist weapon. Very interesting. 8 agility, 9 stamina. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. For shamans, we get increased damage and healing done by magical spells and effects up to 14. 5 stam, 8 intellect. We get a juicy 2-hand mace with a knockdown effect. Knocks the target silly for 2 seconds, so it has stun duration, which is kind of nutty. The Bloodstorm War Totem, 12 strength, 8 stamina, 10 intellect. Every time I see stuff for shamans, I am like so shocked how cool it is. And this mace is a whopping 3.60. I think the paladin sword was it 3 point? What was it? Because I didn't even look at the sword speed. 3.60. Okay. All right. Well, at least we got the same love. That's beautiful. The slower the better. Okay. And I like that for the shamans. This has a knock effect. That's pretty dope. Now they get another AoE trinket, just like the paladins. Unleash a delayed explosion. Same thing with 150 plague damage to within 10 yards, just like the paladin one. And then a trinket, just like the other healer ones, Bloodstorm Jewel. So it's all pretty similar down the line. Warlock, more fire spell power. 8 stam, 8 intellect for all around. Increased damage by shadow spells up to 14. And then an AoE trinket. Your pet gains 20 stamina and 80 intellect. Whoa! That's pretty big. Unleash a delayed explosion of blood and fire, causing 150 shadow flame damage to all targets within 10 yards. Wow, very interesting. So this seems like more down the demonology trinket. Correct me if I'm wrong. Warrior blood harvest items. So for our pumper warriors, we have the 1-hand 10 strength 6 agi. Damn, that's a pretty juicy mace. 2-hand mace with critical strike. Oh, buddy. 18 strength, 12 stamina. Improve your chance to get a critical strike by 1%. And main hand sword with AoE damage proc. Basically a built-in Thunder Fury. Oh my. Oh lordy. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Maybe not to that extent, but hold on a second. Unleash a flourish of steel and blood, wounding all enemies and targets in 8 yards, dealing 65 Shadow Strike damage, and causing them to bleed for an additional 5 damage every 2 seconds for 30 seconds. Oh my god! That item sounds... Oh! Ew, my lord! God, warriors are getting sucked right now. Pause. However, I love it. I think this is awesome. Warriors deserve this love. This is fucking nuts. But this is crazy. Maybe they need to, you know, I know a lot of other classes are complaining that warriors are the best, but listen, we'll have our time. Everyone's going to have their time. People are going to get up there, all right? Give it some time, all right? Play the class you enjoy at the end of the day. If you want to go play warrior, for sure, go ahead, re-roll. Play the class you enjoy. Warriors are pretty dope. Now, next section of the video. How deep are we in? Oh, we're only 21 minutes. Okay, we're going to talk about the Gnomeregan raid loot. And then we're going to swing over to the profession items, okay? We'll save the other tabs for another video. Gnomeregan Loot. This is a lot to talk over, by the way. Maybe we should save this or separate. Actually, no. We're going big dick. We're going big dick. Anyways. Two-handed, okay? We have a new staff. Healing done by spells up to 35. Arcane spells up to 26. Staff will sometimes be able to shock dead players back to life. Cannot be used while in combat. 11 stamina, 14 intellect, 15 spirit. I'm gonna be honest. This has mage written all over it. This is a juicy mage staff. I think mages are gonna get a lot more love, and here you go. Maybe even for arcane, right? So maybe arcane mages might be the ones who reign supreme in the end. And a lot of my friends were talking about the automatic crowd pummeler. I'm just going down to this real quick because we were talking about, you know, this is gonna be the weapon to go after. But I was telling them, you forgot about the thermoplug rocket cleaver, because that's what I'm going to be going for. That's the weapon I want to be going for. Even though the weapon speed is not as good, but I'm going to be going for that. We got the obviously Druid Prio on this mace. We got a Hydro Staff, allows underwater breathing. It's okay, not that great. Blast a target for 80 to 100 nature damage with the supercharged Head Chopper. Very interesting. This sounds like a dope weapon, but honestly, this can be a really good Paladin two-hand. For holy paladins. Honestly, this sounds really interesting. But who knows? It's just because that juicy intellect. We got a two-hand sword as well. If you don't get the freaking thermoplug, go for the two-hand sword. You know, this has paladin, arms warrior written all over it. Arms warrior can go for the axe as well. You know, don't get me wrong. Staff of the evil genius. We got a two-hand staff. 80 to 121 damage, 4 stam, 4 intellect. Improves your chance to hit with spells. Increase damage and healing done by magical spells effects by 20. Interesting. Wow. And then we got the pole arm. 15 agility, 9 stam, 15 intellect, 2-hand. I'm assuming that's more towards the hunter. Maybe that's hunter prio. But these are really interesting items. Really cool two-handed weapons we got here. We got some main hand. Okay. We got some, it looks like some warlock based stuff. Glimmerizing Gizmo Blade. Increased damage and healing done by magical spells and effects up to 19. I'm assuming this is just more, not just warlock, but just caster in general. 7 stam, 4 intellect. Electrocutioner Needle, discharge a mote of thunder, dealing 25 to 35 nature damage. 1 hand. We got a fist weapon, an epic fist weapon. Discharge a blast of arcane energy, dealing 40 arcane damage, reducing all resistances by 45, and increasing any spell damage taken by 6% for 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, 2 strength, 3 agility, not too bad. And then we got a mace, increased damage healing by spells and effects up to 20. This seems like more of a healer mace. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it looks like. I'm seeing a lot of rogue stuff here. Maybe some hunter stuff as well. Puncher target's armor, lowering itself by 160. The ultrasonic vibroblade. Toxic Revenger 2. Deal 30 nature damage every 5 seconds. AR radius around the caster for 15 seconds. We got an oscillating blast hammer. Decreased defense by 4. We got another mace. 16 attack power. We're just going through the list, guys. We're blasting through this. Oh my gosh, just so much stuff, dude. Cogmaster's Claw, Fist Weapon, 6 Strength, 6 Agi, 5 Stam. Shoney's Dismantling Tool. Dismantle target's weapon for 5 seconds. This is an offhand. This is an offhand. Oh my gosh, that's a free disarm. That would be disgusting in PvP. You're giving someone a free disarm. That's kind of nuts. Wow. 9 to 60 repair manual, increased damage and healing by 22. The Gnomeregan increased damage and healing done up to 14. Some shadow resistance. All right. We got some epic, a new epic gun, 26 range attack power, 100 flat damage. Not too bad. We got another gun, 4 stam and 12 attack power. We got a crossbow, 8 agi. We got a gear shifter, a wand, up to 9. Very nice, giving it a wand. Okay, another wand too, 110 fire damage. This looks like a nutty wand. 8 intellect. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. Let's go to our amulets. We got our amulets. Justice badge. 6 strength, 7 stam. Increased dodge chance by 1. Defense by 4. That seems more of a tank amulet. Or a tank neck piece. But I could see some, off DPS rolling on that. This looks like more of the DPS, though. Gnomeregan Peace Officer's Torque. 16 AP. Improve your chance to get a critical strike with melee range by 1. Piston's Pendant. Healing by 9. And magical spell effects. And mana per sec with 4 stam, 8 int, and 6 spirit. And then Pendant of the Homecoming. Increased healing done by spells up to 13. And then mana, 3 mana per 5 seconds. 8-10 for intellect and spirit. We got some back pieces. Up to 9 for healing and magical spells for our cloth wearers. Chance to hit with spells and melee range attacks by 1%. This is leaning towards more of the melee wearers due to the strength. Intellect Spirit. This is more towards our cloth wearers. For casters. Prototype Parachute Cloak. This is pretty sick because this is basically giving you slow fall. You're basically getting what a mage would have, right? So this is pretty juicy. Built-in mage mechanic into this cloak. Really dope. Kind of like an engineer thing also as well. Pretty sick. Unused cloak. Arcane of Insulation, and a Repairman's Cape. Very nice. We'll move on to the rings now. Hold on. We're spitting right now. Boys, we haven't had a tea break. Hold on. ASMR. It's an ASMR. I can't even fucking speak. I'm about to punch the monitor. Anyways, Hypercharged Gear of Innovation. We got a whopping 5 int, 8 spirit, 5 natural arcane resistance, and nature resistance as well. Healing and damage, just healing done by spells and effects up to 13, and then 3 mana per 5 seconds. Hypercharged Gear of Conflagration. That's how you pronounce it. 4 int, 5 arcane, 5 nature resist, damage and healing up to 11, and 4 mana for 5 seconds. The Gear of Devastation. Just big stats all over. That's actually a pretty juicy ring. I actually like this ring a lot. 7 strength, 8 agi, 10 stamina with the resistance. We got a finger ring as well. They're all finger rings. What the fuck am I saying, Tello? 6 stamina, 9 spirit, healing and damage up to 8. Regular rings, 11 stamina, 5 spirit, 11 stamina, 5 spirit. Okay, these are not too special. Now we're on to the trinkets. Some interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. 6 intellect, 6 intellect, 10 fire resistance, miniaturized combustion chamber, increased damage and healing done by spells up to 12, randomly channel between 1 and 150 health into between 1 and 150 mana every 1 second for 10 seconds. Very interesting. So you're going to be getting like a reimbursement of health or mana every 10 seconds, either or. Very, very crazy item. Trinket. 18 AP, increased attack speed by 5%. You may be able to push this experiment further. This might be really good for druids. And overall, I would say this is good for, like, Fury Warriors and Rogues. I like the way this sounds. I don't know if I like this too much on Paladin with 2-hand, but who knows. The Genodyne Pill Bottle. 7 Spirit, 10 Nature Resistance. Restore 4 mana per 5 seconds. Use. Makes target ally immune to snare and immobilizing effects for 5 seconds. For the next 5 seconds. Also removes existing snare and immobilizing effects. 30-minute cooldown. This is absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm just being honest with you because that is PvP written all over that motherfucker. That is PvP written all over that motherfucker. Let me say it again, because having the ability to get rid of that, you're going to make a rogue's life hell. Okay? That's not fun. That's a nutty freaking trinket. Another trinket. Riddle's Hardened Core. Increase your chance to dodge attacks by 1%. Increase armor by 1,000, but movement speed's reduced by 60. Effects cannot be removed and last for 10 seconds. 7 stamina and obviously all the resistance. This is disgusting in PvE. This is actually disgusting. On top of all the armor you're going to get from wearing plate, or depending who your tank is, that's nasty. Really crazy trinket. This is a level 45. Oh no, okay, they're all level 45. Transfigures the caster into a Trog. We got a meme trinket. Who knows if it's good or not? Might be the best trinket in the game. Domesticated attack chicken. Okay, that's the best trinket in the game. Release your chicken and attack and fight you for a minute and 50 or until defeated. Yeah, best trinket in the game, and we're adding more pets. We already seen the route of what happened with pets in Phase 1 of BFD. Let's add more pets. Love it. Give everybody a chicken. I want one now. No helm from Raid. Some cloth pieces for the shoulders, up to 12. You guys know the deal on that one already for spells and damage and healing. And then we got some chest armor. We get okay, so these are set bonuses. Hyperconductive robes. We already went over the irradiated robes pieces. I think did we go over these as well? Increase your chance to hit spells in melee range by 1%. 100 plus armor. Chance on spellcast to increase your damage and healing up to 40 for 10 seconds. This is really juicy. Really juicy stuff. Just a regular cloth piece here. 6 stam, 14 stamina. 6 agi, 14 stamina, 12 intellect. Not bad. Another regular one, 20 spirit, 9 stamina. We already went over the irradiated robes. We got some wrists. Increase healing done by spells and effects. 18. And then we got a cloth wrist piece. Healing by 9. Restore 3 mana per sec. Gloves up by 9. Another regular base one, 12 intellect, 11 spirit. We got a belt up by 24, 4 per second. And then we got a cloth piece, 6 stam, 4 int, 6 spirit. Increased by 1% overall of hit, right? And then increased damage and healing done by up to 8. Not bad. And then we got more of the legs, the hyperconductive set that we were talking about here. I think we just talked about that before. The irradiated set as well. This one is just straight up, just 7 mana per 5 per seconds. 14 spirit, up to 22. Not too bad, pretty solid. Let's go into the acidic waters. I think those are from Gnomer originally, right? Those are originally Gnomer from the water elemental boss, if I'm correct. That's up to 11, not too bad. We already talked about these. We'll just ignore the ones that we're seeing over here. Pretty juicy stats overall, though. Leather, shoulder piece, 14 agi, 11 stamina. This one increases your spells up to 11, 8 intellect, 14 spirit. We got the apron and the chest guard. Oh, this one's actually a little different. This one's a little different here. I think we talked about this one earlier, about the +5 daggers and the attack power. This is for druids. But this is pretty interesting, too. Now, Starfire might get crazier. You know, who knows if they start nerfing it. But at the end of the day, increase the critical hit chance in Wrath and Starfire by 2%. Yeah, this can be nutty. You know, for the Boomkins, for the Starfire, start popping that off. That can be a little crazy. But overall, Starfire is just nuts in any form, right? Like, it's just really good right now, especially at level 25. Wrist. Ornate Dark Iron Bangles. Increase your hit chance and your damage and healing up by 9. Not bad. We got some gloves. Increase your hit by 1%. 30 plus attack power when fighting mechanical units. Oh, wow. Very nice. So this is really beneficial in Gnomer. We got some belts with crit up to 1%. Plus 10 attack power. 3 strength, 4 agi, 5 stamina. We got Core of the Deep Earth, 6 stamina, intellect, 4 spirit, increased damage done by nature spells and effects up to 19. Really nice, really good stuff. This is definitely, I think, Druid Prio, in my opinion. But either way, yeah, pretty good. We already went over the leggings. We already went over this stuff. We got the Petrol Spill pants, 21 agility, 11 stamina, -10 fire resistance. That's kind of dangerous, especially when you're fighting the Dark Iron Dwarves. If they do those bombs and the fire damage, that's kind of dangerous. Nimble Trip Runner dungarees, 5 strength, 21 agi, 8 stamina. Those are pretty crazy. Oh my gosh. We got some boots, Nomba operator boots, 9 agility, 9 strength, 7 agility, 9 stamina, 6 intellect. Those are really good overall. And then just some typical stuff. Let's move on to the mail now. Increase critical strike by 1% and nature spells up to 11. And then Troxlayer Pauldrons, 22 attack power, 12 agi, 5 intellect on the mail. We got some chest armor. Holy shit, dude. Boys, hold on. Let's take a breather. I'm at 33 minutes already. Oh my lord, there is so much shit. There is so much shit. Oh my god. And this is what I'm saying, dude. I'm so excited. Like, they are prepping for phase 2. And this shows you they got their fucking minds right, and they got some ideas, all right? It's going to be a good time February 8th. I can't even fucking speak right now. Yeah, so improve your crit chance and range attacks 1%, 4 mana per 5 seconds, 24 attack power, and your attacks have a 5% chance of restoring 100 mana. Proc chance is 5%. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. That's actually a pretty dope, juicy mail piece. And then this is the one for the lightning bolt. We went over that one already. This is for the, what you can call it, the shamans. The mail, 22 attack power, 7 agi, not bad for a wrist. Some gloves. Increase hit chance with spells in mailing range by 1%. Not overall pretty good stats on the mail. We got some belts. These belts sound crazy, actually. This one right here, giving you +5 efficiency to anything. That is going to be nuts. That's kind of nutty. You're going to basically be 5% more proficient in any other weapon compared to anybody else if you have this belt on. So that's nuts. Dark Vision Girdle, chance to hit by 1%, 20 plus attack power, really nice. And then we have the Magnetic Waist Cord, 1% and up to 11, really nice. Now we're on to the mail still. Oh, no, we're going to the plate here soon. Okay, we already talked about this one, part of the set bonus piece. Really juicy stats, though. And then just a regular mail defense tank piece, +6 on defense. Boots, we already went over this. Pretty juicy stats overall. Plate armor, 12 strength, 11 stam. Just armor is probably more than likely just a tank spank piece. Hazard, we went over this. The Shockaden stuff that we have to talk about even more in the next VOD. We're going to go over that. Welded True Silver Ringlets, 6 Stamina, 5 Intellect, up to 14 Holy Spell and Effects. Plate, wrist, really nice. Like that one a lot. Gloves, 1%, 9 Strength, 5 Agility. Belt, 1%, up to 5, not bad. Improve your chance to get critical, 1%, okay, not bad. I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. More of the rat and then the shotgun and stuff, right? Or just overall, like, if you're going to go for, you know, arms or whatever you're doing for the plate, right? Hazard boots, okay. Carbon Deep Sabatons, defense, 10 stam, 9 agility, 7 strength. This is actually tank or DPS piece, really good. And that's about it. Guys, we made it. Boys, we fucking made it. Holy shit, that was a lot of stuff to cover. Sipping the tea. You already know what's up. And now on to the professions. Final part of the video. This is a long one. I know this is a long video. We've been making long videos lately, but we got to cover the news, all right? And I'm covering the news for you, okay? I'm trying to do the best I can. Maybe I suck. Maybe it's time to fucking hang it up. Fuck that. Anyways, spoiler alert, professions, all right? These are new stuff that is going down. They basically mentioned, too, that they want professions to feel like they matter, and I like that. I respect that. Because, you know, especially for alchemists and, like, you know, enchanters, like, you know, you're just selling your services. It gets kind of boring after a while. Yeah, you're making gold, it's dope, but, like, having these things being able to have more of an impact on the game and giving more options of variety and crafting is pretty cool. So, they don't go over in depth of what everything does, but we're just going to name them off and, like, talk about it and just keep going down the list. We'll talk about the ones that are actually show a description and then go from there. So in alchemy, we got something called the insulating genodyne. You're going to need a lead vials. Create tainted genodyne solution 5. So that's going to be interesting. Max stack 20. We get the mildly irradiating rejuvenation potion, which restores up to 438 mana and 340 to 460 health. Also increases attack power by 40 and damage done all spells by 35 for 15 seconds. 2-minute cooldown. That's going to be a massive juicy new consumable because the amount of like damage you can burst out in 15 seconds, especially with caster classes and, you know, and your melee classes on how fast they can pump out this damage, this might be top tier consumable. I'm just going to say it right now. This right here, this shit right here, very well can be a top tier consumable with how fast you can crank out damage in 15 seconds, especially if it's worth. And you know these prices are going to be skyrocket. So, gang, make sure you're spending the money on the right areas of the auction house and wait the shit out until you get to, you know, the raid time. But that's going to be a fucking nuts item. We got some blacksmithing info, true silver bar, reflective scrap metal. Stack up on your true silver bars if you get them early on. Low background true silver plates, hyperconductive arcanal filament, and polished true silver gears. It seems like it's going towards a chest piece, I believe. And then hyperconductive filaments, fancy glowing leather plates. Okay, so this is gonna be some secret stuff going on with the blacksmithing, especially will come maybe with, like, you know, how we got the equivalent to the void pieces, like something's going on with the chest piece and stuff that you're gonna need from the Gnomeregan. Very interesting stuff. Enchanting. Oh, how am I going to pronounce this? Retricutioner. Unbelievable. Teaches you how to permanently enchant a piece of chest armor to reflect 9 damage back to the attacker when the bear is struck in melee. Really nice. So it's basically thorns. That's pretty sick. Dismantle. Permanently enchanted weapons to do 10 additional points of damage with physical attack and up to 25 additional damage with spells to mechanical creatures. I'm going to keep it buck with you. 10 additional points of damage with physical attacks is pretty nice. That's a really juicy enchantment. Whether something replaces it, because I think the only other thing that really replaces it is the plus, because what do we have right now? +3? I think it's like +4, +5 next phase. That might be better. If it's just 10, we might as well just go with that and just take the PvE thing, when we're in PvE. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I'll take that. That's not too bad. Engineering. I'm an engineer, so I love this. Gnomeregan Fallout, Mithril Bar, Solid Blasting Powder. We got a high yield Radiation Bomb. Mithril Bar, Blasting Powder, and Gnomeregan Fallout. Hyperconductive Gold Wrap for Cloth Wearers. An epic piece. 9 stamina, 40 armor. Up to 1% hit rating. You get critical strike, 1% hit rating. So with the hit rating and the critical strike rating, and then your use ability, pull a hyperconductive coin from your belt and flip it. On a roll of heads, you gain 3% increased chance to crit with spells and melee attack for the next 30 seconds. On a roll of tails, you gain 10% movement speed for the next 30 seconds. So you're obviously going to want heads. It's basically a luck thing. Okay, we're rolling dice like in Dungeons and Dragons. I like this. Pretty dope, unique item like that. Polished True Silver Gears. Okay, Polished Tarnished Gears 5. Soul Vessel. No info on this. Traps demon souls and siphons them for power. Maybe this has something to do with the warlocks. You're going to have to talk with warlocks, especially if you're an engineer. Maybe warlocks might need this. Who knows? Whirring True Silver Gear Wall. We got a shield. An engineer shield. Very interesting. Sipping the tea. 9 strength, 10 stamina. Increase your chance to block with attacks 1%. Really nice. On successful block, the whirring razor sharp gears on the shield inflict 5 to 10 physical damage to the attacker and 2 to 10 physical damage to the bearer. The rotating edges on the shield are surprisingly sharp. This seems to be just as damage to the bearer as it is for the attacker. So it's like a high risk, big reward style shield. Who knows? This might be a really good shield in the end game. If there's any other shields that are better, it might replace it, but this might be a juicy shield. Leatherworking. We got Cure Thick Hide, Eradicated Leather Scraps, 5. We got an Epic Leather Helmet, 14 Strength, 14 Agi, 14 Stamina. This is actually fucking nuts. Increase your chance to hit by 1%. And if your use ability inflicts Neurological Shock, instantly dealing 343 to 757 damage to yourself, but also increasing your melee and range attack speed by 20% for 10 seconds. That's actually nuts. That might be really good for hunters. That might be really good for hunters, especially if they're going down that, two-hand thing. We got a mail piece, 14 stam, 15 intellect, epic. Healing and done up to 21 for damage and healing done by spells, right? And then your use ability, dealing 688 damage to yourself from 312 between the medium, but also increasing your spellcasting speed by 20% for 10 seconds. That's really juicy. That could be really good for our casters, right? Oh my, that could be really nice. Leatherworking's offering a lot of good stuff. Another one, leather piece, 11 stam, 12 int, 11 spirit, damage and healing done up to 21. Gain neuromatic meditation, allowing 100% of your mana regeneration to continue while casting for 20 seconds. That's fucking nuts. Holy shit. That sounds like a really good possible Resto Druid piece. Druid piece in general. That sounds pretty juicy. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds pretty juicy. Maybe even a hunter. Actually, no, not a hunter. I wouldn't say a hunter. This is definitely a Druid piece. Because what other leather wearers can wear it besides Druid? For healing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure, but I think that's just a Druid hood. And then we got the Rad Resistant Scale Hood. 11 Strength, 10 Agi, 11 Stamina, 10 Intellect. Hunters can be able to roll on this too if they want to, I believe, because they can get mail, right? So 1% you get increased on your hit rating. And then your use, engage the radiation mitigation protocols on this helmet, causing you to immediately remove all active poison effects and gain immunity to all nature damage for 3 seconds. 10-minute cooldown. Wow. Holy schmoly. This is a really good hood in general, and this helps out in PvP, especially when you're versing rogues, that have poison-based abilities. Really nice, but this is just good overall. Really good helm. Sorry, the video cut out. Let's keep going. I'm having little technical issues with OBS. Anyways, 10 stamina, 11 intellect for the Neuralinked Arcanofilament Monocle. That's a fucking crazy word to say. Increase damage and healing done up to 22. Restore 4 mana for 5 seconds. And harness the latent arcane energy in the nearby area to give you charge inspiration, reducing the mana cost of all spells by 50% for 12 seconds. That sounds extremely nuts. That sounds extremely nuts. It seems like we're getting a lot of cooldown base abilities coming these later phases, where you're just gonna be able to burst out spells left and right, and just damage in general. This is insane. Hyperconductive Arcanofilament. You just need some Mage Weave, Unstable Microfilaments, and Heavy Silken Thread. Invoker's Cord. Okay, so they're going with more Invoker stuff as well that we already have. Up to 7 for both pieces. Guys, that's it. Oh my gosh, I'm about to throw up. That was so much talking for all this shit for a long-ass video. If you stuck around and watched all the news, I appreciate it. I'll have the timestamps everywhere so you guys can enjoy the VOD. Same shirt, I know. You know, I just woke up like this, all right? It is what it is, all right? And I'm chilling, all right? Much love, amigos, and, you know, guys and girls, both, whatever. At the end of the day, thank you for sticking around the channel, and thank you for, you know, hanging out and being a part of this. I'll see you in the next one, all right? Go sip some tea, have some water. A little ASMR action. Keep on keeping on. Peace. I think I just spit it there. Peace.
If you wanna dance, tonight.